was good too, but you know, Stevie Nicks is just something else. You know, I could witch dance all day long. Welcome back to our daily show, 1017. Coming down the pipeline in just a couple of days. We are in April almost.
Almost.
Tomorrow feels like a mountain away, but it'll feel like a downhill slide right after that. And on Thursday, which is April the 3rd. Ooh, I'm on one today.
Very good.
It's the second of 3 free spiritual experience series, part 2. Raise your spiritual IQ. Coming to RiverBend Yoga. Your dream worlds revealed. This is an interesting one, and I'm so excited to talk more about it. It's an hour presentation and an interactive discussion where you're going to learn techniques to remember and interpret your inner dream journeys for helping your daily life. You'll receive the free experience journal to start recording your dreams at 1 p.m. on Thursday at RiverBend Yoga, 100 West 3rd Street. That's just right down the road, not even a 2-minute walk. And you can be part of this experience with yet very powerful tools to tap into your own inner guidance. I love that. That's a good, powerful line. How are you two doing today?
We're fine. I do want to correct something from 2 weeks ago when we were talking about intention, that you have to have your intention set.
Yeah. Of
course, after that, you have to take action. And then you have to accept what comes with that.
Right.
The thing is I said a quote about commitment was Carl Jung, and that was incorrect.
Oh, that's right.
And I really want to correct that because that went out over the waves. It's Goethe, Goethe. He was a German 18th century writer and philosopher. So if you go online, that's Goethe. Commitment, not Carl Jung. Sorry, I felt after I went home and I checked that, I go, oh my God, I made it wrong and I'm sorry.
Oh no, don't be, because it was still a very important topic and an important thought on that too.
Yeah.
Well, that's why this series is so important, because you're going through and really tapping into some things that really, if you think about them, this is what I was thinking about the other day, doing, some of that, the work it's not, I shouldn't say common sense, but it's one of those things where it breaks it back down to the basic foundation of who we are, because we always overcomplicate ourselves. That's just people are people, and we always have, these different things going on. But when you're using these techniques, you're going right back down to the root.
You're getting clear.
Yeah, and it's so important. I think that's so important, because out of all the craziness this world's throwing at people right now, you got to stay centered for sure.
Yeah. Two of the things we're going to really, then you mentioned them, was the techniques to remember.
Yeah.
Because that's very important. And then techniques to interpret. And I wanted to say thank you also, because 2 weeks ago we said we would do an experiment together.
Yes.
And usually at night when I go to sleep, I sing Hugh, which we've talked about as a love song to God, and it connects me with my higher self. It's just Hugh, and I sing it several times, and then I've already written down, but I repeat that I want to remember my dreams. But with you, I started being specific. In other words, I want to have fun with this a little bit, because I'm doing it with CJ.
Yeah.
And whoever else tried this. And so I would be specific. I would say, I want to remember my dreams, and I want to know what's best for my health.
Right.
Or I want to know what my next spiritual step is. I'm telling you, I got to understand better my symbols because I was specific with what I requested.
See, this is fascinating, because whenever I was doing this, and I had such a great takeaway, because it was in a very important time, I think, that I was doing this, because sometimes we do things when life's good because we know it's not easier, but it's just going to be a little less stressful to kind of go through that. But, when you're kind of stressing out and things are hitting the fan, it's really important to kind of hone back in and do that. So it was fascinating to me, because I'm starting to rediscover my dreams, because I told you I couldn't remember nothing. I mean, I'd wake up and I would dream, but I wouldn't know what I was dreaming about. And so now it's like, it's scary at first, because you start really interpreting it. It's like, man, what does that mean? What does this mean? Am I dying tomorrow? It's just crazy stuff. But it also goes back to what you said and how you feel the next day, because that's how you really get the idea of it. Where it's like, well, I did dream about that, but I woke up feeling like I had the Sunday scaries. Like, I don't know what's going on here. And it really did help in so many ways, because it brings you get to think a little bit more, process it, instead of just letting it deflect and bother you all day.
Yes. Right. Yeah. When you set an intent, or you start that journal, I want to remember a specific, or I want to figure out more, like you said, about my health, or what's been really going on in my life as opposed to a surface skim,
Yeah.
We're kind of good at surface skimming. I have been in the past, it's like, okay, well, that could be this.
Right.
Maybe not, but when you go deeper and you develop your own symbols, it's awesome what you figure out. It's like, yes, I have, asked the universe to provide me with information I need specifically. My own dream symbols.
Well, and see, this is where it goes into a different, a more fascinating, I think, conversation too, because that's something that I've been internalizing too. Is what have your kind of your thoughts been? What have my prayers been, or whatever? What have you wanted? Mm-hmm. And the big thing I think that bothers some people, it's bothering me in a way, is the fact that it's like, wow, all this is here. Now, when's the rug getting pulled out from under? You know what I'm saying? Because of the karma conversation, it goes back to, because it's like, man, did I do everything I needed to do to deserve? Is this,
okay.
What I'm, so that's where the dream comes back in too.
Back to fear.
Yeah. And that's where the dreaming, though, real quick, is where I'm getting, because it's like when I'm doing the dream journal, it's like, well, yeah, but it's not fear of that. It's fear of, it's because
the unknown.
Yeah. That's
okay.
It.
I love it. This is perfect. I asked because I'm being specific now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to remember my dreams, and I would remember my dreams. But now when I'm specific, and it consistently specific. I've been specific before in my past, but consistently specific. So I got to the point where I said, what do I need to know that's best for my health?
Yeah.
I mean, health is big, especially when you get older. And I had this dream, and I was in the dark. Way in the dark. And then my spiritual teacher, which is the present spiritual leader of Eckankar, which is the path of spiritual freedom, is Harold Klemp. And as the outer master, he writes books and discourses and gives talks. The inner master, for a student, I'm a student of Eckankar. He's there with me. And it's like another terminology for him is the dream master. Anybody can ask the dream master any question, but the connection was he came in my dream and handed me an empty shopping cart. And I'm standing there with this empty shopping cart, and then all of a sudden there was this car. And there were a lot of people in the car, and I was afraid because it was the unknown.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I took the shopping cart around the corner and I hid. And I'm really scared because I'm afraid of the unknown. So I peek around the corner and I see that the car, this time I see there's like a light on in the car. I see it's full of Ek Masters. And Ek Masters are like your guardian angels, you could refer to. Or they're spiritual guides, spiritual travelers. And they're all smiling, and Harold Klemp is in the car with them. He's an Ek Master as well. And the light is shining on the shopping cart. And I look down at the shopping cart, and it's empty, and I realize it's my choice what I shop for.
Yeah.
It's my choice what I'm afraid of.
Right.
It's my choice not to buy into the fear.
Right.
That's it. And not to buy into the social consciousness, which the first car was filled with what you thought was
that's
something.
true.
That's
I was afraid of the unknown.
Yeah, but it's your dream. Again, it goes back to your symbols, what you develop.
Well, and like my dream, because I can tell you, there's been times the last couple of years before I stopped dreaming for a little bit, and even now, like I had one this last couple of weeks where my thing is I get caught in a dark room and I can't run fast and someone's chasing me, and that thing scares the living hell out of me because it's like, what is catching up? What is trying to catch up to me that I haven't cleared yet? You know what I'm saying? And so that's where my brain works, because that, it's like, what is that? Why is it's like a Michael Myers figure always, trying to get me, and all that. And I'm in this dark room and can't see nothing and I can't run fast.
Yeah, I was just reading a story about that a member of Eckankar had written years and years ago. And he said, kept having this dream. This guy, with a knife was chasing me. And finally, I got it inwardly that just turn around, He's either going to kill you or whatever, or you're going to go to battle. And he turned around and faced it, and it turned into a spiritual guide. And he said, I've been chasing you for so long, just trying to get you to catch up with yourself and take a look at your life,
Yeah.
This is something that came after that dream when I was writing it down. And like I said, Harold Klemp is the spiritual leader. He's my guide, my teacher. And this came through. And he had said this, that he had seen once on a fireplace mantelpiece over a fireplace, this saying, and it was, fear knocked at the door. Love answered. No one was there.
That's right.
And I've realized that love is I need to go to that.
Yeah.
Even when I'm afraid, I need to start loving what that is, whatever it is. Like you said, face it. And gratitude also comes. It's like,
well, and see, that's where it goes back to that cycle where this is so important because so many times in life we get stuck in that negative state, and I hate to say that, but it's
we get stuck. You're right. It's a choice, though.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It's just like what you hit on so perfectly earlier. Just like, you can live in fear, okay? Because nothing's going to change what happens tomorrow. There's a plan, and that's just the way life's going to work. And you better learn how to deal with it, or you better have your tools to take care of it. But you can't, if it's hindering your life, that's a bad thing. And so it's so important you say that because you just got to take a step forward. You do, and you got to love yourself, and you got to be proud of who you become and the journey you're on, and nothing's going to stop you, and that's where kind of my thing's been, because a lot of people know about my past before the show, not the best, and so it's you work on those things, you become a different person, you give all you can, and you develop who you are, and so it's a very important concept, and I think the dreaming portion of it is somewhat the most beneficial part, because that's truly when you're alone with your inner thoughts.
Yeah. And, that can be sort of scary too. But, when you have decided, I want to look at this, I want to turn around and face this, then you've opened yourself to a world of possibilities. And we were talking earlier about it's always been there, but how can we tap into it?
And see, just to follow it up, Sheila, that's such a good point because, and we'll take a break after this and come back and talk about the event and everything else. But it was one of those where I was fooling myself because I would talk about it to an extent, right? And I owned it and all that and faced it, but I never talked about it actually with myself. And see, you know what I'm saying? So you can put on the public broadcasting mask all you want, but until you internalize and you really look at it, you aren't going to really move on from it. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to keep being that fear. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting.
But it's practice.
It is. And that's for
even when that persona comes up and it's you. They say, what is it? Fake it till you make it. Right?
That's literally my life motto. Because it's true. It's practice. And I'm a huge believer in manifestation. And I think that you can manifest a lot of bad in your life and you can manifest a lot of good too. And so it's just, and that's not saying you can wake up every day and want a Ferrari and that's going to happen. But you wake up, but you wake up every day and go, I just want to be the most wholesome person I can be and feel whole and have this great life. And I want to have... Those are great manifestations. Yes. Those are healthy ones, and it's all coming back to what you can do with your dreams too, because that all goes hand in hand. We'll take a quick break and come back with more. Thursday, April the 3rd at 1 p.m., Your Dream Worlds Revealed, Techniques to Remember and Interpret Your Inner Journeys for Help in Daily Life. You will be receiving a free your Raise Your Spiritual IQ workbook, and then you have the 3 free books that were a part of this series. You'll receive the second one. If you went to the first one, you get already have the first one, and so a lot more to discover here. We'll take a quick break. We want to thank also the Eckankar Society for being a part of this and helping us spread the word too. And we'll come back with more after this.
Hey, would you drop by the pharmacy? My doctor switched my cholesterol medication.
Yeah, will do, honey. I'm glad he's looking out for you.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including managing chronic conditions. Schedule an appointment today.
What are you doing?
We did our home insurance ourselves, but don't feel protected.
So you're building your own American Family Insurance roof line?
Yeah, life's better when you're protected under American Family's roof. Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Dad, we'll go. It's gonna hit.
See, that's how it works.
For real protection, save up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
Timber! With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois with specials 5 days a week. Mondays, roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab select 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Sorry, Daily Show, hitting you in the nose. Back with Flora and Sheila. Your dream world's revealed at Riverbend Yoga 100 West 3rd Street in Alton on Thursday at 1 p.m. This is about this really great series of Raising Your Spiritual IQ, the free spiritual experience series. And we've been really just having a conversation about what you could be talking about on Thursday.
You know, your spiritual IQ is unlimited.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we talked about how you practice and you learn more by practicing. It's like playing baseball, any kind of sport, running or whatever. Maybe walking, you can walk for 5 minutes, then you go and you walk for 6 minutes, walk for 7 minutes. So it does take practice. The other thing is people, if you can't come on Thursday, you could go to the Eckankar website, and there's an Eckankar podcast. If you like to listen to things like CJ, there's a podcast, an Eckankar podcast called Dreams and Healing. It's an amazing. There you can get a lot from podcasts. I love podcasts.
Well, and and honestly, that's a great thing for people to utilize for even more information outside of what they learn with you all too. And it's one of those things. We're going back to the practice part of it, just like we were doing in these dreams, because there was times I was getting these just vivid things about like it could have been an animal. It could have been, seeing it was weird seeing my friends at a party because I thought I was going to die the next day. I'm not going to lie. I saw everybody there and I'm like, uh-oh. Everyone that tells me this normally is gone within a couple of weeks. So what are you doing here? But it's going through that and realizing it's not how it makes you feel and what those mean for you, because everyone's got a different interpretation over a symbol or over over a lot of things, and it's so important to identify what those are for you. And
we can always ask for help.
Yeah.
Inwardly. Help will come outwardly when we ask for it inwardly.
Yeah.
I told you, there's that prayer, show me the way.
Yeah.
And whatever you believe is a higher power, your higher state of consciousness. Mine is as soul believing in God, of course. Uh-huh. And just show me the way. And then the inner teacher, whoever that is, it could be Christ, it could be the dream master that I talked about, Harold Klemp, it could also be Buddha.
Yeah.
Or somebody you trust and love will get you just open yourself to that guidance.
You're 100% right. And it goes to going back to your practice, because this is not a sprint. I mean, it takes a long time to kind of figure it out. And for some people, it's different, and it kind of snaps.
But it can be fun.
It can be so much fun. And so that's the thing right now is, sometimes I think we get kind of tired in that battle because maybe we know that we're pushing past the barrier, and everything, but every once in a while, that little trigger comes back and starts messing with you a little bit.
You're never going to get away from your mind, CJ.
No. But my point is, though, it's making fun out of it, because
yes, that's true.
Yeah, calling it something other than a battle,
right.
Calling it something that, like, man, my spiritual unfoldment, I'm going for it this time. I'm not going to battle.
And the mind isn't bad. Where the mind is
right.
a great gift, but it's a horrible master.
You're right. You're right. And that's where it comes back to this thing where it's like, you said if you're having a bad day, or it's like, man, that feeling's coming back pretty hard out of nowhere. Well, heck, that's when you get to challenge it a little bit, and you get to use your tools, and you get to find, because that's what makes it fun, and you realize your growth.
I'm glad you said tools, because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's building your own spiritual tool chest.
Well, and Sheila, what do you think about this second series, second installment? What are your biggest takeaways from this one going to be?
I personally love dream study, because for me, it gets my head out of the way. Seriously, when I'm sleeping, I can hear better what God has to say to me. I can hear better what my next steps are. I develop my own symbols, and it takes it a little bit further than just this here. I know that it's not just this physical stuff, not just us yakking at one another, but it's a time when my head gets quiet and I can really focus on me.
Yeah.
On my own spiritual growth, not just
I have something to say about that. My sister, who has Parkinson's, she had to spend a night with me when she was traveling, and it was recent. It was during all of these things, and she shakes pretty much, the tremors. And so when we went to bed, when we had to stay in the same bed, she stayed with me because I had another guest in the guest room. And so when she went to sleep, she started, she was shaking, and I just thought, okay, I'm just going to take this vibration and accept
Roll
it.
with it, right.
Go with it. It's part. I'm going to wake up when the dream, I need to understand something. Because usually when I remember dreams as I'm going to sleep and as I'm waking up, those are my times for remembering the dreams. Anyway, she fell asleep and she stopped shaking all night long. She did not, no tremors. I even at one point was afraid she wasn't still alive.
Put a mirror under her.
Oh my God.
I looked, but I saw that she was alive. I'm serious. But this is the interesting thing. When she woke up in the morning, I told her, I said, you did not shake at all last night. And she said, I don't shake when I'm asleep. And I said, how is that possible? Parkinson's is neurological. Mm-hmm. She says, my brain goes to sleep at night.
Wow. Oh. That's interesting. That is so fascinating. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. And I even looked it up online because I didn't trust it. And it says, the tremors.
Wow.
For those who have Parkinson's when they sleep.
Well, and this, every time I talk to you both, it is such a very enlightening conversation, and we always have a good time. But I want to make sure we're getting all the details out before we say goodbye for now until we talk again. I believe next week. Is it next week or 2 weeks?
No, it's this Thursday.
This Thursday.
No. Our next interview.
Oh, it'll be in 2 weeks.
That's what I thought. Okay. So this Thursday, fill us in on the details so we can make sure we get a good write-up written and get some more people down there with you.
Okay. This week, we're definitely going to talk in the journal about your dream dictionary.
This is so
cool. I
cool.
think it's really important that a personal dream dictionary is part of your... Like, I had a dream about fear again, and there was an old cassette tape player playing. It was just playing. I couldn't shut it off. And when I woke up, I realized that's an old tape.
Yep.
So that's a dream symbol for me, where it might be a different dream symbol for somebody else. And we can't just trust those books that are out there about dreams and symbols. We get ideas from other people, and we're not there to interpret other people's dreams. That's not what this is about. It's about helping everybody to have their own dreams, their own dream dictionary, to remember, like you said, either the feeling or the dreams, the waking dream. I just real quickly, I was watching something on TV, and I had been asking about my health the night before, and this is it. When you ask and you put that intention, it's not just when you're sleeping answers are come. In this program, 3 people were talking and carrying around water and talking about how water would prolong and make them healthy. And it was all intricately involved. And I thought, I need to drink more water. Now that was just me trying to be aware, and that's a waking dream.
Yeah, the waking dreams are wonderful too, because it's something that you really can't forget. You can fall down and hit your head and go, yeah, I call that a waking dream, because when I look at that, it's like, my intent is always to stay upright and keep moving forward. But here I am, I've hit the concrete and I have impeded my own progress, So for me, that's what I looked at it as. But they can be so simple.
They are very
songs
simple.
on the radio.
It's just that awareness,
whatever.
like you said, the fun of you ask the specific question, and then I swear the universe comes. Spirit is always, there's nothing that we do that Spirit doesn't have a step in it, a hand in it. Oh, and that's another dream I had with all these hands. And I go, what are those? And it's my health was in my own hands.
Makes sense. It makes total sense.
But it was like, thank you, CJ.
Well, and honestly, thank you guys, because this has been so much fun, and it's really helped me a lot and helped me process some things a little bit better and really get through a rough time, because this election season has just been not good. And we're getting there, and it's helping, because you got to do these things, and it's good to do them when you're not feeling the best, because that way you can do them even better.
Yeah, you can surrender a little more, and our dreams are not just about our nighttime, it's our daily, what's going on daily, it's what's going on emotionally, and it's what's going on spiritually. So you have to look at those 3 things, the dreams and all of those.
Really cool. Well, always great to talk with both of you, and I'm so glad to have you back in the studio. We'll see you on Thursday at 1 p.m. at RiverBend Yoga. We'll have a write-up for you soon. We'll take a quick break and come back with Hainer Library next.